Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I am back straight out of left field, a punk motherfucker named Concepticon, with a video reviewing the Batman 1989 by Beast Kingdom. It is the sequel to the DAH-056. This is the new version for 2026, the DAH-114 1989 Batman by Beast Kingdom. As you can see here, ain't shit changed. I always keep a boxed version, an open version, because I love the smell of opening up a new action figure, even now at 36 some years old, and having something to pose, something to look at and hold in my hand, something tangible, and maybe even play with sometimes, who knows. I mean, we never really grew up, right? At least in this aspect. But I'm doing this video out of recommendation because a friend of mine, one of my best friends actually, Kevin, this goes out to you, said, man, why don't you do a video? Do a fucking video or something, you know what I'm saying? Some sounds or something, man. And I'm like, fuck it, why not? So I bought this the other day from Walmart. I was just impatiently waiting for us to get into stock. And then just one day I randomly go over there and I saw we had them and I bought two of them. I had to have it. 89 Batman is my favorite Batman iteration. The suit, um, the portrayal, the aesthetic, everything. The Batmobile. 1989 Batman, like many, is my favorite. I think right after that it'd probably be maybe Val Kilmer's and then Christian Bale's. And then the one Robert Pattinson just did, The Batman in 2022. But I had to have it. I've wanted a 1989, a good 1989 Batman for the longest. NECA had one for a while, but then it looked a little odd, the proportions on it. I think Mezco just recently came out with one, and then it's like they do cloth goods and it just doesn't look right. And then there's the Hot Toys one that I want, but that's more of a grail than anything else because the price is just, you might as well buy a PS5 or something like that at this point. So I was looking for one that was a good budget one. And then I'm like, man, you know who would make a real good one? InArt. I'll pay for an InArt one if it was like 150 bucks. They're basically like 7-8 inch versions of Hot Toys. But it'll probably be a while before we get an InArt or LPZZ version of the 89 Batman. I mean, right now they're still doing the Arkham Asylum and Arkham Knight video game versions of Batman. So then Beast Kingdom decides they're gonna do one, a redo of the first one. And they kicked it right out of the park, man. I mean, and it's 8 inches. And when I think of Batman, I don't think of small. I think of tall and imposing. Even though Michael Keaton's like under 6 feet tall, they made it look, like he was towering over the villains in the movie. He wasn't the tallest Batman, but when I think of Batman, I think of like intimidating, just like Darth Vader. I don't think, of a standard height villain. I think like you think he's larger than what he is and taller than what he is, but he's really not. So when this 89 Batman came out and I saw that it was 8 inches, I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, this actually is what I think of when I think of a Batman figure. I don't think like a 7 inch or 6 inch figure. Like we're probably about to get with the Hasbro series now that they have the Marvel or the DC license come the end of, right now they're doing like the kid versions of the toys, but once McFarlane like is done and he's going out with a bang, if you see some of the figures we got coming out, we got a good Poison Ivy coming out, another Hawk Girl, and a better version of the Wonder Woman with the curly hair. He's going to go out with a bang. And you know, he was the first to really give us a good, budget friendly, so to speak, 89 Batman here. But as you can see, I have them beside each other here. And I'm going to tell you what I like about one and what I don't like about the other and what have you. Like I say, I always buy two versions of my action figures. So these were about $34 a pop at Walmart. They have other versions of them. I think they even had a set that came with like all the movie versions and like a box set. And it's pretty up there in price. Kind of the same way McFarlane did. Um, and then there's something about the one that, like for the 89 Batman that came with a box set with the other movie versions of Batman that's different from this one. This is the one, like I said, I love 89 Batman. I had to have it. And it was pretty cheap for this version on, I think, Mercari I bought it from. I didn't get the Batmobile with it, though. I really, you know, wanted the Batmobile. But at the time, it was the cheapest route to go. So I don't have the Batmobile with it. And I'm kind of curious if this Beast King one will fit up in the Batmobile for the McFarlane version. So that I'll like to see. Maybe I'll buy one later or something like that. But so as you can see here from even the video, the McFarlane version here has more of a gold bell, a gold logo, whereas the Beast Kingdom version here has the more accurate yellow, bright yellow logo and belt depicted in the movie. So first, I'm going to get into this McFarlane one, all right? Now, right off the bat, the first thing that I dislike about it is the way that the cowl is. Now, they've improved upon this. They came out with this Batman 3 times, and they refused to get the cowl correct, all right? This is what the cowl looks like, and in the Beast Kingdom has it more about what it should look like. Should be one straight piece. In the movie, he couldn't move his neck because the cowl. And I get it. Some people are really big on articulation because you could do this. Okay. But I'm more about accuracy in this regard. And it just does not look right. And then it really doesn't even look like Michael Keaton. This Batman here. Let me see if I could get a good angle for you. Okay. I'm trying to. Okay. So to me, that looks more like a Kilmer Batman, or even like the Christian Bale one, a little bit. But that's the logo. It's more of a gold, like I said, whereas this one's more of a yellow. And that definitely looks more like Michael Keaton. Mine's kind of looks like he's slightly looking up at something. But let's get back into this McFarlane one. So here's the cape. It's cloth goods. All the 89 Batman that he came out with had the cloth goods cape. And none of them had the cowl correctly. The first one was the one that originally sold on Amazon. It came with the Batmobile. It was like $89. Pretty fair in price. But if you're an accuracy person and you have attention to details, you're a stickler for details, you don't like the cowl. You know what I mean? I get it. Some people like the, you know, the articulation and being able to move every which way. But I don't like that the belt's gold, and I don't know. You know, they came out with this 3 times. The other one was the one that came with, there was a box set with all the theatrical versions of Batman. And then the last one they came out with was one that came in a box, which I don't have, and I'm not going to buy because this one's just, is until NART or LPZZ makes one, the best 89 Batman that's, you know, not huge. Like, you got the big one that NECA did in the box that I have over there too. I'll probably show it in a separate video. Didn't quite prepare myself because it's in my closet somewhere, buried by 300 other figures. But this is the best 89 Batman to date, outside of maybe the Hot Toys one that you're going to get an average figure size. McFarlane had a really good opportunity to make that, but 3 times he came out with this one, he didn't put the cowl correctly on it. Now, if you see the 1989 one, but the Batman Returns one, the cowl is corrected. The face still looks a little bit Val Kilmer-ish on that one, but the cowl is corrected. I have to take a second look at that to see if the logo's still gold. But the third version of this that they came out with had like the cape where you could pose it like he's kind of like doing the gliding position, like he's doing like this or something like that. So let me see. It has it where it's like doing like that, and it has like little, you know, strings around the cape where you could keep it posed that way. But you know, I'm not gonna get that one because this one just trumps it, so to speak. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, and you can see too, like this one has a darker coat to it, a darker matte coat to it. This one has kind of like a grayish, even looks a little bluish purple in some ways than this one does. And as far as like everything else, I mean, so articulation, you could do ab crunch that way. You know, it's that much forward, that much back. Can't quite do a complete big boot with it because the pliable plastic there, and you can't entirely do like far back, but you do get well, mine's pretty stiff. Pause. You do get a little bit. Let me see. Get it back up here. I'm trying to show the articulation. What was holding the camera. Hope I didn't give you any motion sickness doing that. That's how much knee you get that way. So you could do a slight knee, and then you got really not that much. You could do 360 on the ankle there. I have a toe pivot. You got a toe pivot there. You could do that much of the boot. And then let me see. You got, I think that's butterfly joints there. Yeah, you could do that. You could do like the old school like uppercut punch. I oughta, you know. And I kept the fist on my Batman on this one. And when I bought this figure, I only got like the figure as is, so I don't have any accessories for this Batman. But you get that much back on the elbow. All right, I don't know if you can see it there. Let me see. You get that much back on the elbow. So you could do, you damn near could do the Wakanda Forever with Batman. You definitely could do, let's see. Let's pose it just a little bit. You definitely could do flex, you know. You could do that. But you could do a punch. You know, you could do a Mike Tyson. I love the way the head, I mean, nobody's boxing with Batman, but you could do an uppercut, you know, boom. You could do a side kick, you know. Batman Beast Kingdom does that. You could do that. You could do, wow. Can you do a Shawn Michaels super kick, Sweet Chin Music? Not exactly. You could do a high kick though, you know. So, the articulation on it is perfect. I mean, some people don't like McFarlane. I love McFarlane. I hate that he's losing the license to the DC figures and stuff like that. I mean, you're gonna miss him when he's gone, trust me. Like, I know a lot of people just got tired of like multiple versions, iterations of Batman, and now they're coming up with the absolute one. Like I said, this dude is going out with a bang if he's gonna lose the license. Now we're getting a lot of shit that we was, asking for, and it's kind of like he's saving the best for last. So we got absolute Batman. I know people were shitting on the Zatanna and the fucking Black Canary's faces, but I'm happy we finally got them. And then there's so many great people that do like customs. I mean, I just, as a 30-something-year-old plus nerd who, well, a blurred, I guess you could say, even though you see my skin's light skin, I'm a black man, becoming different shades. But as a 36-year-old blurred, without the modding community in games, and without the customs community and figures, I just don't really know how the fandom will continue. I mean, when you grew up in the 90s and you had action figures that articulation, the extent of articulation was that and that, and then when Toy Biz came out, they were super overly articulated. You had like the Spider-Man who you could actually move the digits like this. That was kind of cool. It's awesome to see even things get, taken care of even further because people do customs. And, I wonder, I have to look it up on this this forum when I'm done to see if somebody's actually taken the cowl from the Batman Returns Batman and put it on the 89 one. Because if somebody can do that for me for this one, I'll be very grateful for that. But the McFarlane Batman wasn't bad. It just, I know I'm probably taking more time on this one than I am the one that's actually this video is about. But it's just, I don't know. The color scheme could be better, and then the gold belts should have been yellow. Like I said, the one that came with the box set with all the movie ones had the correct color scheme. And then the cowl. But I don't know. It's just me with that. So if you want to see the rest of the suit, like I said, everything else matches. So there's this bat butt. Pretty plain on the back here. And then you have that there. I don't know for what, but I guess it could come in handy in some ways. And then that's the back of the, what's the name? And then there's the boots, the little, were they Reeboks they had on in the movie? And now, let's get to what we're really here for, the Beast Kingdom one. So, like I said, love the fact that the logo is the correct color here. Okay. You probably see some cameos from my other figures up in there. But there's the belt. That's the logo. Looks more like Michael Keaton here. Even the cape looks a little bit more leathery than the one on this one. Let's look at the back. Looks a little weird in the back. The bat butt and everything. The legs look a little skinnier. But, so, the thing about this is I like the body articulation. This could get a little wobbly because, alright, so like, that's what they look like next to each other. This one's clearly like a 7-inch. This one's like an 8. I didn't show you the belt on this one. The belt to me even looks, I don't know if it's me, but it looks a little bit better on this one, even detail-wise. So like, this one's articulation is like this. You can get a full haluva kick on it. Get a full haluva kick. You get that much back. Let's see, can you do a super kick? Yes, you could do a high kick. The cow, you get some articulation, but that's about it. It'll kind of look a little wonky. You get that about that much up. So you can do the pose where he's looking up at the, you know, the moon, like at the end of the movie. Knee, you get that far back. You don't get a, do you get a toe? Yeah, you get a toe. But this doesn't go up. That obviously is not going to go up there because it's like that. But you do get a full, you know, 360 turn like that. And then that's about as much as you get to the side. And as far as elbow, you get about that much. You get all of that. Now the cape is wired too. So I'm going to show you something with that cape. But you get all of that. You get that. No butterfly joints per se. It's just, you see how that is? One chest piece. And then this, you get some butterfly joints up in there. So, as far as the bodies, you can see the diaphragm on this one. This one doesn't have a diaphragm. This one just has that. So you get that. And then on this one, you don't really get that much on this one. I mean, it's more of a, you know, I mean, you don't really get that much on that. But, let's see, can you punch on this one? Yes. Yes. Can you do uppercuts? You only get that much side. But you do get drop down hips slightly on this one, if that means anything to you. So you can do punch. As far as uppercut, you don't really get much. You get the ball right here for the fist. And then you get a little bit of uppercut there. Foul, you know. Foul. Foul. And yeah, I mean, now as far as that wired cape is concerned, you can do this. And the wired cape will somewhat cooperate with you because it's wired, of course. So, you know, there is your pose. And like I said, it looks a little bit more leathery. This one you can immediately tell, like, clothy. This one's a little bit more pleather. So overall, like I said, I like the 89 one. Now, this one doesn't have at the bottom any ball here. Like no holes for you to like sit on a stand. The McFarlane ones are a little bit more stand friendly in that regard because they have the little holes there. So let's grab one up out of here. I don't even know what figure that's for, but that's something that I would give the edge to on McFarlane. Is that, and then this one has like that, like it goes a little bit better to the side than this one does, because this one only does this. Like that's it. But so that's what I give this one. This one has better articulation in the body and then the butterfly joints. This one has drop down hips, so you could do a higher kick. So like, boom. You could do like a big boot. My way of describing articulation is always with wrestling moves. You could go that far back on the what's the name. Because AEW is what made me start doing that. When I started having action figures, when I do wrestling figure reviews and shit like that, I always think about like, okay, the first thing I think about is, can you do this move with a figure? I don't give a fuck if it's a great Khali. I need to be able to do like a 450 splash with or whatever. Not that he would ever do it. But like, can you do a big boot with this figure? You know what I mean? Can you do a leg drop with this figure? You know what I mean? Can you do a haluva kick? And there's like certain figures with AEW where you can only do like this much articulation. And I think that's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? Which is part of the reason why, like, maybe Jazzwares is losing the license, because they just didn't heed the customers when it came to, like, hey, like, you're making a Luchasaurus figure who was, like, this Sean O'Hare wrestling type dude, this big dude that could do all types of luchador moves, and his chest pops off when you try to do some of those moves. So the wrestling is what really makes me, determine my metrics for articulation. I can't do a Helluva Kick with this Batman. That's how much articulation I get. I can with the Beast Kingdom one. I could do the fucking Anderson Silva kick that he used to do when he finished people off in the first round. And I got drop down hips. And I could fly with both of them. But, like you see, not that Batman really flies, he more glides. But I could fly with both of them. Here's a flight with the McFarlane one. They're flying over each other, y'all. But victory is his. The Beast Kingdom one wins. Oh, I didn't show you guys the accessories for the Beast Kingdom one. So I always keep my accessories in a Ziploc bag to keep for particular figures together. So, and I'm gonna show you the back of the box too. My shit's all out of order. I don't really do figure, videos of like reviews of like figures often. This is like the first one I've done in like forever and a day. So his default hands are the fists. Because Batman beats the shit out of people, but he won't kill him. He beats your ass just enough where he doesn't kill you. He lets you live. Because that's his number one rule. He doesn't kill. Spider-Man shares kind of like the same thing. So, and the fists are very nice. You want to see, that's what the hinges look like or whatever. So it's like a little joint like that. It looks like that. And I wonder if the ones from this will fit on the McFarlane one. Let me see. That McFarlane one's a little tight. I don't know if I want to mess with that, because let's look. Is there a difference? The fist on the McFarlane one's really not that much smaller than the fist on the Beast Kingdom one, honestly. I mean, a lot of their aesthetics, the aesthetics are exactly the same, aside from like maybe the belt. Like, look at the boots. Exactly the same. Maybe a little bit different. And the chests look the same. Codpiece. This one looks more diaperish. This one looks more movie accurate. And then, let's see. Like, there's the arms or the hands. But I took off the hand just to show you some of the extra ones. So the default one is the fist. And then the others, just going to show you one hand. So there's one for like his gun. This one, I guess that's for like the Batarang. Or like to hold Joker's hand so he won't fall off the fucking gargoyle or whatever. And then you got this one. It's more like a trigger hand. So this is, let me see if I can get up in here. Okay. So there's like, not your Batarang, but his thing that he, the fucking propeller. The propel thing, the grappling hook. That's what it looks like. So that's the hand to hold it in. And then it comes off like this. And if you want to like do your figure photography, they have one where it's actually sticking out. I just had it like this. Actually, let me see. Oh, that's the batarang. So this is like the batarang. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just another grappling hook. And it's on a wire here, bendy wire. And it looks pretty dope. I would love to see Beast Kingdom do a Batmobile if this one can't fit in the McFarlane one. But that's what it looks like there, bendy wire. And like I said, he also comes with 3 shurikens. You got 1, 2. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember him using the shurikens in the movie. Maybe he did. Maybe I don't remember. But let me see. So let me gather all the hands, and you could get an idea. Okay, so for each arm, he's got 5 sets of hands. 4 sets of hands. 5 if you include the default fists. There's one there, open hand. Kind of like, this one's more of the, hold the, grappling gun, so to speak. It's almost like a sequel to it. But this one's more the one for the grappling hook gun. And then this one, I guess it's more for the batarang. Let me see. Because you could take this bendy wire off the batarang, I believe. I'm probably not going to, but you can. Let me see. So you take it off just like that. It's got a little hook. And then you do like, let me see. I don't know. I guess you could do that. So there's for the batarang. And then that's that hand. And of course, there's the fist. Put up your black fist, y'all. Punch somebody in the face. This one, I think, is another one. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know what this one's kind of like if you want to put like a sword or something in his hands. And then you got this one, which is also, I guess, another batarang hand. And yeah, that one's perfect for it. That's the one right there. And then you got that one. So those are all the accessories. All in all, I'm giving it to the Beast Kingdom one. Let me put a fist back up on here. See how easy it pops on. Pops off easily, but let's see how easy it pops on, because you don't want to buy nothing that breaks easily. Pops on very easily. You saw that? Saw how easy that was? All in all, I keep saying Haluva Kick. Haluva Kick! By Sami Zayn, the new WWE Universal Champion. Well, not Universal Champion, Jesus Christ. Undisputed Champion. Universal Champion's all over with. Blue and red are over with. That's gold. The champion of Batman until NR and LPZZ come out with one is the Beast Kingdom. DAH-114 one. Be careful when you're ordering this and make sure it doesn't say DAH-056. That's the 1.0 version. This is the new and improved version for 2026. Like I said, you can find it at Walmart, as well as the others. Right now, I've only been seeing in my store more of the 89 one and was the first one? There's Nolan trilogy. Batman Begins one. So this is the Batman to have until NR or LPZZ come up with one. Jesus Christ, sorry. This is the one to have until NR, LPZZ come out with one. You should see their Arkham Knight ones or what have you. Arkham Origins ones. They're very nice, but right now this shits on everything. This 1989 Beast Kingdom one. So if you got a Walmart nearby, go get you one. And thank you for watching this. I rambled for 35 minutes to some parts, but had to be done. Thank you for watching, guys. Concepticon out.